Alright. So apparently there's still a lot of stupid going on. So we're going to bring you today's market recap, brought to you by whoever writes Zero Hedge. And me talking over it. So today, during a massive round of fucking money printing, again, money printing, because there seems to be a lot of people who don't know anything, and perhaps they shouldn't have a reason to because it's not their field. But they should have some knowledge of some things, such as their economy. And people have the mistaken premise, or the misnomer, or misunderstanding, that they seem to think just because the stock market went up, their economy got better. Well, no, that is not true at all. And the reasons for your stock market going up are not because of the economy. At least not these days. Now, the stock market, the equities market, which is different from the bond market or the debt market, is also far different from your actual economy. Now, today, you just had a massive amount of money printed to manipulate these markets up. And we're going to go over that. And Zero Hedge gets it. And they actually say it with a lot of sarcasm. But I think people don't seem to understand sarcasm as well. So we're going to go over that too. So stocks end the first quarter with the best start in 21 years as earnings and bond yields plunge. You should be able to hear the sarcasm there. It's the best start as earnings and bond yields plunge. But for the moron, especially ones who shouldn't be spying on my stuff, will think, oh look, best start in 21 years, that's awesome, oh my god. And they just have no idea what this part, as earnings and bond yields plunge part, means. That's corporate earnings, as in businesses don't make any money. That's why they keep laying people off. That's why your economy slows down even more. Because the more people laid off, or more people with less money to spend. That simple. And bond yields plunge, that means people were buying bonds. Because the price of the bond is inverse. Is that too big of a word for the people who shouldn't be listening to the stuff that I deal with? To the yield of the bond. And they were buying that because they were fleeing from the shit in the stock market. So how did this happen? Stocks end the first quarter with the best start in 21 years. 3 words. Plunge protection team. Or in a better way to put it, market manipulation sponsored by your government with money they printed. They just started buying up whatever was dying. Zombies. Zombie companies. Zombie indices. They just bought it up. With printed money out of nowhere. And again, not everybody may know this, but you should have at least heard the story of the Weimar Republic or Zimbabwe. When you print tons of money, it becomes worth a lot less. Because the money is everywhere. But here it is again with the sarcasm, summarizing first quarter in one chart. Stocks soared alongside a renewed surge in global money supply, that's the money printing, as top-down and bottom-up fundamental. See, it's a little bit of sarcasm there instead of fundamentals, which is, for example, corporations being profitable because they need to make money to stay in business, and when they don't, see in this headline, earnings plunge, generally their share prices should not be going up. But the sarcasm means that it was going up because of the money printing and market manipulation sponsored by your government. And coincidentally, other governments on Earth. It seems the whole world's central banks have re-embraced their don't panic role as they see something that's just too scary for us average Joes to be told. And yeah, your economy's imploding, and even better, there's a nice little snippet from Christine Lagarde where she says she really can't save you. That's not what we're looking for there. There's no more bailouts. Now we'll pull that up later. We'll go back to zero hedge now. And what you see here, this little chart here, global stocks and global bond yields have decoupled dramatically in the first quarter. Because usually, when stocks go up, the bonds go down. And remember, bond prices are inverse to bond yields. Basically, these two lines usually stay together. But they diverge in situations like this, in the shit show that you have now, because you're completely and utterly fucked. Things were not good for you today. You are completely and utterly fucked. Now, you see stock prices going up. That's what that MSCI World Index is. And that's mostly going up due to money printing. Because most of the money that used to be in there now went there. And remember this part, when the price of the bonds go up, this goes down. And when more people want more bonds, the prices go up. And they go there because they perceive it as a flight to safety, which for the American ones are no longer true. And again, when did this happen before? When you had a credit implosion in 2007 and 2008. And you see it in all the other credit stuff too. That'll be another video. But again, the same deal. They had to pump it back up. Where is it? Actually, no, that's down there. Never mind. That'll be a different chart. But again, the credit shit show really started here. Started with, what was it? Iceland? Yeah, I think it was Iceland. Well, before Iceland. They had their problems, and then it spread all over the world during this time. Well, it wasn't just Iceland, but it was all over the place. So guess what? You're in the same situation, except now your economy is slowing, and on top of that, you have unprecedented levels of debt that will never be paid back. Much worse than in 2008. And it will implode. No matter how much money they print, it will implode. Going back to the initial statement that we made when we first started this video. People somehow thought that stock market goes up, everything is awesome. That is not the case, because it's not your real economy. And it's manipulated, just as we're explaining now. So, stock markets goes up means nothing for you. And in fact, we'll get to your reality in just a few minutes. But here's a little more sarcasm. Quite a quarter. Best quarter for world stocks since 2012. Best quarter for U.S. stocks since 2009. Oh, I wonder why, when they started pumping shit up after the implosion. Best quarter for oil since 2009. Again, you had an economic slowdown. And Chinese stocks were panic bid overnight, ending the quarter up 24%. China's best quarter since Q4, the fourth quarter of 2014. Best Q1 or first quarter since 2009. Again, because their economy is imploding too. Except they can print a lot of money because they want to devalue their currency because it fixes a debt problem they have. You don't have that luxury. Because guess what? That makes your debt more expensive. And you actually owe it to them. Most of it, at least. A good amount of it. And European markets had the same deal. Because they print money too with their central bank. And it's the best start to a year for the S&P since 1998. Again, because they called the Plung protection team, who prints money and buys stuff up. Which doesn't really mean anything for you, unless you happen to have a lot of that stuff that they bought. And likely, if you're one of the dumb shits listening to this now, you're not. So the U.S. stocks outperformed bonds dramatically as gold and the dollar ended unchanged in the first quarter. Now that's what we were talking about earlier this morning. Gold is manipulated down. You see how far gold is up? Gold is manipulated down. Because it should actually be far up over here versus the U.S. dollar. Because the dollar is worthless. But they print naked contracts, or short naked contracts, where they don't actually have to have any gold, but they can sell it to drive the price down. It's just like if I decided to print a bunch of titles to a car and sell it and drive the price down that way. But I never have to deliver the car. That's how that works. And this is a reference to the Treasury Secretary, Mnuchin over here. Munchkin, whatever the fuck it is. Mnuchin. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Calling in the Plung protection team, telling everybody, hey, we're going to inflate those markets right back up. And that's what the sarcasm is there. From the Mnuchin massacre lows on Christmas Eve, the NASDAQ is up almost 25%. I wonder how. That's the sarcasm part. And the Dow lagging at a mere 18.75%. How did that happen? That's the sarcasm there. It was too stupid to still get it. And this is the funny part. Even with their, you can tell when they had to pump stuff up. There was a nice drop there. Had to intervene, market manipulate a little bit. Oh wait, it won't stay. Oh, it won't stay. We have to keep going. Oh wait, we have to pump it up again. Oh wait, oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh wait, oh. See? The market's selling. And they're fleeing the bonds. And that's all market manipulation you're watching right there. And it's struggling to get through it. And here's another joke. Company that's not even profitable, never mind earnings. Some idiots decided to buy. And if I were there, I would have started to short just like these people. Yeah, that's what happens when shysters screw you out of your money. We're running out of time here. But here's the even better part. Here's another amazing trade. Insurance on the credit implosion got cheaper. I'd buy a shitload of that too. And here's another indication of the money printing. Or actually the people fleeing to the bonds. The money printing made their markets go up. But all of that money from those markets were going here. Same deal with this. Other countries run here. And you have a U curve inversion, which means your economy is imploding. And that's all we